me and Dave understand this because we literally knock doors and it is like literally a numbers game because there is no prospecting really. You don't know who's on the other side of the door. You don't have any data. You have nothing. People just drop you off in the neighborhood. They're like, go hit every door. And so what's interesting in sales, and for those of you that are just getting into it, is guys, if you talk to enough of the right people, like I remember knocking doors and it was like, you would have an entire Monday, let's say, you would knock your ass off and it's like 8 o'clock at night and maybe you squeak one out right at the end of the night and it's the terrible, ugly deal. You make no money on it. It's just a number. Tuesday morning, by like 2, 3 in the afternoon, you got 3 in the bag. But what it was is you're putting deals in your pipeline and then it eventually catches up and it explodes. Those of you that don't have a deal yet or multiple deals, you're not putting in enough reps. Like period, end of story. Anything you want to add to that about being a number? And by the way, dude, you didn't just sell. You recruited, trained, and like managed teams for like 8 years. Like
too long, dude.
Too long. But like you've seen the reps that come in and they're gung ho. Everything looks good on paper and they suck.
Right.
Anything you want to add on like the numbers thing?
You have to be numb to it. Like I think everybody's got this, I don't know, it's like energy meter where they're just like, oh, like I'm going to call 2 people today. And then they do it and they're just like, didn't work out. And so they quit. You definitely have to develop thick skin and you can't get so emotionally attached to everything. Yeah, you just got to put in the reps. And there's enough people out there, whether it's like they've only been in business for 2 years or whatever, like they want to grow. It's your job to find them. You may not find them on Google Ads and that's okay. You may find them in Angie's List or Home Advisor or whatever, but they're out there. And I think people, it's the fear of rejection, right? But I think if you go in with that attitude, like you're going to get a lot of no's and that's kind of what you want. That's good. Getting a no is a good thing because you don't want to work with that guy anyway. He's an asshole to you or is not respectful. Like that's good. You just found out that that's not your match. So now you just got to keep going.
How does somebody that's just starting in sales, like, is there anything that like you could say as far as like to help people get over the fear of rejection? We've all seen it, dude. I was terrified. I had straight up, I know this is too much information. I don't give a shit. I had diarrhea like my first week, dude. I was like, they're like, yeah, we're going to go to Subway and get a sandwich. I'm like, I'm not eating and I'm hitting the toilet while you guys are like, that's how nervous I was for like a week. Because I know there's some people in here, it sounds funny for those of us that have done it. It's like, it's not a big deal anymore. But for some people, it's like, that is a huge freaking iceberg hurdle that's in their way. Is there any tips on overcoming rejection that you've seen people do or that you've personally done?
I'm trying to think of like some special thing and there's not, dude. That's the work. It's not what people want to hear, but that's where the money's made. And I've been in industries where you don't continue to get paid from that deal. If I do a mortgage right now, I make a good rip on it, but that's it.
Yep.
Unless that guy refis it a year down the road. So where I'm going with this basically is like, you almost like have to count your blessings. The opportunity that we have to like grow recurring revenue, like that's so badass. That's so amazing. My fiance, she's a bartender, makes like, 50 a year. And what I produced last week is equivalent to what she does for an entire year.
That's crazy.
And it's not anywhere near the amount of time put in, but it's the value that you provide. So it's like, dude, stack up and do it. If you're afraid, you just got to keep doing it. Yeah. It's like swimming. You're never going to get over your fear of water unless you get in the damn water and struggle and paddle and almost drown. But you're going to come out fine. You're still going to be alive. Your dignity will be intact. Like, you'll be fine. Yeah. You'll be fine, but it's just you and the business owner. So if you screw up, who gives a shit? There's more people. You just have to do it because the prize is worth it.
Guys, cold calling, making phone calls, yeah, it sucks. Like, of course it sucks. But it sucks worse to have a shitty situation, no money, not be able to travel, not be able to take care of your family, not be able to do the things you want. And then you wake up one day and you're old as shit. And you're like, man, I let that fear stop me from living this life. And at some point when we would recruit guys, we would say, hey, come shadow us for a day, right? And it's like, then after a while, we realized that them shadowing us didn't really help until they went and did it themselves first and got their ass kicked. So they even knew what to expect.
I think it's about your perspective too. Just going back, like, how do you get over the fear of rejection? You're calling people to help them with their business. I think sometimes because whether you're new or whatever, you haven't done sales, you think you're asking for their business. You're not. You're offering to help them grow and explode their business.
Yeah.
So if someone says no, like that's just their loss. I think it's just about your mind frame.
It totally is. And for me and you, I think because we've gone and sold products, they're good products, but like when you're selling a home security system, that doesn't make somebody money. Guys, you realize that the product you're selling, not only does it pay for itself, but it actually makes them money. Like I know know that you know that, but like, if you really comprehend that, what could be easier to sell than something that you're like, yo, this actually will pay for itself. Oh, and it should double, triple, quadruple what you're spending. It's not like we're taking, it's not an expense. It's literally an investment.